I'm Wayne and this is Sci-Fi Fans, the home of new stories written by myself. So I hope you all had a good Christmas and I'm back to doing the lives now. Got a little bit chaotic just before Christmas. I was working and I am still working in as a caretaker capacity, but I've finished early and to come live here for you. I hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you had a good time. And here's to 2026, where we're going to get a slew of movies. Marvel, obviously, I'll be releasing Doomsday later on this year. Spider-Man is in the works. And I'm looking forward to some films this year. And obviously, there'll be some news a bit later on in the year with regards to Alien Earth Season 2. That got renewed, surprisingly. Now, I am a big Aliens fan. I love the Xenomorph. Aliens is my favourite film of all time. But does Alien Earth warrant a second season? Well, I'll leave that up to you to tell me in the comments. Personally, I would have been quite happy if they just finished it. I wasn't really a fan of the TV series. There was just a little bit of poor characterization, and what they did to the Xenomorph was, quite frankly, they made it into a pet, which takes away the fear element. The whole point of the Alien franchise is to have that horror notion, and you kind of lose that once you start putting the Xenomorph into daylight. For a start, it doesn't really work wandering around on a beach. It's more of a claustrophobic, poor lighting kind of scenario, where Alien worked because it builds on what you don't know and what you don't see. So to see the Xenomorph wandering around like a pet dog was disappointing, to say the least. I did enjoy one or two episodes. The episode on the Maginot was quite exciting. It shows you what happened on board that ship and the betrayal on there, which was a little bit of a red herring. I think we all thought it was going to be the android guy, but it turned out to be another crew member. So Alien Earth has been renewed officially and they're working on that. We're also hopefully going to be getting a sequel to Romulus at some point. And let me know, what did you watch Romulus? Did you enjoy it? I enjoyed Romulus up until the last 20 minutes or so. What I didn't enjoy about Alien Romulus was the fact that the Xenomorph's gestation period was too quick. It just kind of sped up and bang, you got chest burster. I think had they spent more time, made it maybe half an hour longer, then they could have built out and fleshed the characters more and given us a little bit more of the horror. There were some good aspects of Romulus, but what I didn't like, as I say, was the last 20 minutes or so, where it just kind of descended into a little bit of a farce. So Badlands has been and gone. I didn't get to see it at the cinema, unfortunately, but I'll certainly be watching it when it comes on to streaming services. And I think this is the problem now, is with a lot of the films going straight to, more or less straight to streaming, people aren't given a chance to see these films on the big screen, which is a shame, because there are certain films that you need to watch on a big screen to have the full visual effects and enjoyment. But streaming, I think over the next 18 months, we're going to see possibly a change with the streaming services, particularly if Netflix do actually buy Warner Brothers. Hi mate, how are you? I'm fine. It's very cold here in the UK, just outside London, bit of a sharp frost. How are you? Did you have a good Christmas? And what are you looking forward to in 2026? I'm looking forward to concentrating on the writing and the books. In case you didn't realise, so I've got a book on Amazon, Broken Ceasefire, as well as, where's the other one? Yeah, one of these days I'll do a live and I'll be prepared for it. But anyway, Broken Ceasefire is available on the Amazon bookstore. now. They're behind me. I am organised. And Return Fire is the sequel. So I'm going to start a TikTok shop where I'll be selling these directly. So do get in touch. What would you like me to do going forward with the channel? Now, the idea is I'm carrying on with Echoes of Betrayal. We're about a third of the way through the story with that one. And I'm looking into doing some 3D animation stuff. The problem that I've got is it's so easy for things to be classed AI when actually they're not. Hi mate, family, more orders. Hi and welcome. Yes, I had a good Christmas. It was very chilled and relaxed. Thank you. How about yourself? New Year's Eve was, we always spend New Year's Eve around my friend's house, and we stayed over this year, so we didn't have to worry about driving. What subject is this stream? Well, a little bit of pop culture news, such as celebrity birthdays. Okay, what do you want to talk about, June? I've seen the original from the 1983, 84, and the new one. No, I don't have cancer, just bald by choice. So usually I go through a couple of celebrity birthdays. Yep, no, he's cool. He's the Lego one. So I've got quite a few Lego sets up there. Yeah, I did do a Lego channel, but Lego's really expensive and very time consuming. So I wanted to concentrate on the books. Thank you very much. That's just some of it. So it is. That's why I've. If you look for Sci-Fi builds, that's a channel that I started to do Lego sets on a regular basis, but it was just getting too expensive to do. Just history. Yes. With the 83 one with Sting and Patrick Stewart in, it got a lot of criticism because June is quite a very difficult story to put on the big screen, a bit like some of the other comic books from the past. I'm trying to think. The Watchmen is quite a difficult story to put on screen and visualize it. But I really appreciated what they did with the new June, but I found the pacing quite slow. So visually, it was classy visually, and not being 100% familiar with the story in the books, I can't really comment on how accurate they've made the adaptation. But it's certainly a lengthy story and very detailed, and I did like the universe they put. But it's just. Yeah, Lego does kind of grab you like that. There's a couple of sets that I haven't got, which I would like to, the X-Mansion and Avengers Tower. So, but again, they're like an arm and a leg, aren't they? I could sell a kidney, I suppose. They might be able to afford one of them. I got my wife the Lord of the Rings one, Hobbiton, with the hobbits, which she put together. She really enjoys it. We're a big Lego family, to be honest. We all enjoy the relaxation that it gives you, just putting those little bricks together. So yeah, for today's birthdays, we've got Vinnie Jones. He was born in 1965 and is 61 today, which surprised me. I thought he was a little bit older. I actually remember Vinnie Jones playing, when he was a footballer, playing football for Wimbledon and the Crazy Gang, as they were called. Some of his top films is obviously Snatch and She's the Man, and also the Marvel link where he played Juggernaut in End of Days. It wasn't End of Days. It was X-Men 3. That was End of Days, wasn't it? X-Men 3. I was a little bit surprised to see that he didn't return with yeah, very much. We got, so my favourite is obviously the Marvel stuff and Star Wars. My wife does a lot of the Lord of the Rings, and my little one does Harry Potter. And yeah, it's a real expensive hobby. That's why we haven't done anything. I bought the Hobbit one when it came out, and yeah, had to wait till Christmas to give it to her. Hi and welcome. So yeah, I mean, you can ask me any questions. Normally, I started to do these just before Christmas, and I really enjoyed the morning, just chill and chat, bit of pop culture news, and so forth, and obviously a promotion on the older books if you enjoy. Yeah, I mean, if you go to my website, which is wayneblinko.com, then you'll find all sorts of details on how to get hold of me personally. You should sell some of your rare sets. I've got a few, but the problem is people don't have a lot of money at the moment. So when you try and sell something, they always want to buy it for a bit less than what you want for it. And then you always get the question, how can you sell it? I mean, I've got one set which is probably 150 quid. It's what it's selling for. I mean, I'd be quite happy for 100, but people then still try and question it. I had the collector's edition Millennium Falcon, and I put that on eBay for, I think it was 450 quid. It's a brand new set. I haven't touched it. The box is a little bit scuffed, but it's completely intact, unopened, brand spanking new for 450. And this person on Facebook was like, would you take 4 for it? I'm like, well, no, because it's already 250 quid less than retail anyway. Morning. So we had a little bit of a to and fro in, and I said, okay, then right, fine, you can have it for 400. And then they just didn't bother turning up. So it's not easy to sell stuff. So otherwise I would. I've got quite a few sets which I bought 18 months, 2 years ago that are no longer in production, which I did buy with the intention of selling, but I haven't started to sell them yet or even try because I just haven't had time. Been busy working and obviously trying to write the books. Echoes of Betrayal takes up a reasonable amount of time. So I'm on chapter 25. Have I got to chapter 25 on the YouTube? And I'm actually up to chapter 28, I think, with the writing side of it. So I'll just have a look at my videos. Yeah, so chapter 25 came out on Friday, so I need to record chapters 26 and stuff, but I've written as far as, I'll get that up in a second. I think I'm up to about chapter 28 with the writing side. I know, it's just a disaster, isn't it, really? Which is why for the channel, I mean, what I'd really love to do is be able to monetize the channel, because then just by making the videos and people watching the videos, I can make a little bit of an income. I've got a big TikTok channel, but TikTok is just constantly asking for money and selling things. But I will be doing a TikTok shop for the books. But I mean, as long as people just enjoy the content, that's what I'd rather have, an engaging audience where people are enjoying my books and then making the money off of the AdSense and stuff, maybe a little bit of sponsorship. I've got a link with Forbidden Planet, which is a massive pop culture shops that are up and down the country. I've got an affiliate link with that, and I will be weaving that affiliate link into my website and stuff, because if people want to buy Funko Pops and stuff, you can buy them from Forbidden Planet, and then I'll make a little bit of commission without people dipping it into their pocket for extra stuff, extra money. And then at some point I will be doing a Patreon, but then that's to fund the films that I want to do, because the stories that I've got going at the moment are all either in paperback or audio format, and I've got an idea for a series which I've kind of dabbled with called the Salamander, and I'm trying to build the sets and everything for that in Blender. So I've written up to, oh, a few more what I thought. Right, so I'm halfway through writing chapter 30, and I'm really enjoying this story. This story's building out the framework and some of the lore for the books. As I say, that Ravone, another plug for the books. But what I'd like is, if you want to support the channel, then please go to my website, wayneblanco.com, and sign up to my newsletter, and just keep engaging with the videos, because because then YouTube will push the videos out, and then I'll be able to make a little bit of money without it costing people like super chats or stuff like that. I mean, I will eventually get to that stage. But this is something why I pulled back on TikTok. I've got 50 odd followers on 50 odd thousand followers on TikTok, but I didn't like the way the monetization for TikTok was going, so I pulled back a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out a more ethical way of financing the books and stuff, because it's a cost of living crisis. I mean, I got made redundant just before Christmas, so yay! So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to struggle when you're sitting there thinking, gosh, can I really afford, can I afford that particular brand of baked beans over another particular brand? If you've got kids, it's difficult. And I was lucky because in one of the jobs that I did as a carer, we had to provide a meal for 8 people on a budget of something stupid like 90 pence a head. And that was back in 2021, 2001, 2002, back then. So that was before cost of living got way out of hand. So I've been able to manage and budget. It's still blinking difficult. I mean, you go to Aldi's and what should cost you 10, 20 quid, it's now costing you 50. So it's all right. Mickey take, I'm going a bit off tangent here. bring it back on. So yeah, this morning then, today's birthdays, as I mentioned, is Vinnie Jones. He was the main guy, and I've watched his show. I don't know if you've seen it, but Vinnie Jones has a TV show, a bit like Clarkson's Farm, where he's going through. It's on the farm with Vinnie Jones. Now, he's not doing it as a commercial farm, but he is doing it for environmental things, and he's got a lake, and he's really passionate about kingfishers on his lake. So I do suggest, if you get a chance, to check out his TV show. For who? That's the question, really. Oh yeah. So, are you speaking about yourself? Because if so, again, you're in the wrong channel for that. Definitely. In fact, there should be no channel for that at all. Anyone that's into that sort of thing should just be put out of their misery. So yeah, it was really interesting. We watched it when we was on holiday, and I really kind of got into it because there's you kind of think a celebrity on a farm doing a farm show is going to be trying to compete with Clarkson, but there's no competition. Clarkson is all about farming and the trouble that farms are going through, whereas Vinnie Jones's one is more about him just trying to be good to nature. So it's really interesting, and obviously with the passing of his wife a few years ago, it was fascinating just to see the relationship that he's built and how he's getting on with his career now. So there are other birthdays today as well, not just Vinnie Jones. Bradley Cooper, He's 51 today, and he was obviously in Guardians of the Galaxy, Hangover, and American Sniper. So happy birthday to Bradley Cooper. One birthday today that I find kind of, I wouldn't say unsettling, but I didn't realise this guy was as young as what he is, and that is of course Marilyn Manson. Now he's obviously a well-known singer, but he's only 57. I thought he was an awful lot older than that, so perhaps it's the makeup and the lifestyle choices. So they're the celebrity birthdays today. And Stranger Things. Have you been watching Stranger Things? And what do you think? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to binge watch the entire collection, and then I'm going to kind of give a review on there. Now, what I'm intrigued. Obviously, there's been a lot of controversy over the ending and certain aspects. I mean, I'm not. If you want to talk about Stranger Things, we can. I'm not going to sit here and say this is spoiler free because I'm not really fussed by spoilers. I've been watching all of the reviews for everybody else. Mr. H, I enjoy Mr. H reviews because he's very balanced, but I also enjoyed Nerdrotic because he I really like Gary on Nerdrotic, but I do feel that he's just got a bit of a negative spin. They could give you the best TV show and he would find something to criticise it. But I still enjoy his content. I think he's got a great sense of humour, and that comes across in his videos, which is why I enjoy Nerdrotic. But for a bit more of a balanced view is Mr. H. And of course there's the Critical Drinker, who has also done some reviews as well. And he's, at first I thought he was going to be bashing Stranger Things just for the sake of it, but then with some of his more recent reviews, he's been a bit more balanced about his opinion, which is great, because I think sometimes some of these channels just feed off the negativity, and I think there's enough negativity in this world for us to live with without adding any more to it. So that's why on here we don't discuss politics, religion, and any of that kind of nonsense. It's escapism. So I am going to I will be sitting down at some point to watch Stranger Things, and then we can talk about it. But if you want to talk about that at any point, feel free. The other thing as well that I have watched, and that was the Doctor Who spin-off, The War Between the Land and the Sea. And for me personally, it was just a bore fest. No enjoyment in that show whatsoever. I felt that the characters were bland, and it just didn't really keep me going or keep me interested. Now, if you've watched it and you're happy with it, then leave a comment in the box below. And I'm only going to be on for another couple of minutes. So tell me what you think. So, in the meantime, today I'm going to be recording the latest episodes of Echoes of Betrayal and figuring out a few things with TikTok. And I've got some training coming up as well for the writing. I'm going to be involved with a small writing group to hopefully come up with some more ideas and flesh out some new stories. I've got loads of stories. It's just getting them written down and then narrating them. So the podcast will be out on Friday. Podcast goes out Fridays. That's a audio version of Broken Ceasefire, and it's narrated by myself. And I think I'm up to chapter 7 or 8 on that one. Yeah. So that's going out on the podcast. You can get that on all of your podcast channels. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to try and be back again tomorrow morning for about 8:30. And this is all kind of a bit new to me. I know I've done them just before Christmas. That was just a toe in the water to see how things are, and for me to come up with a nice formula for the live, so it's not just me rambling about nothing, which I've kind of done a little bit today anyway. So thank you so much for your continued support on this channel. If you want to support me further, then please go to my website, wayneblinco.com, and sign up to my newsletter. The newsletter is going to go out quarterly. I'm going to start working on this month's newsletter, and I'm going to try and incorporate a free story or an exclusive access to maybe some episodes of Echoes of Betrayal before they're released to the general public, as well as giving you some discount coupons for my books and maybe merch. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for giving me your time this morning. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow, and let's grow this channel and let's grow a lovely community around the Prycon universe. So we just suddenly jumped up to 17 views. Typical. So if you've just joined me before I nip off, then let me know where you're watching me from and what's the weather like. I'm just outside London in the UK, and it's blimmin' cold and frosty. So I'll give you a couple of seconds just to send us a message, and otherwise I'll be off. So it takes about 10 seconds for the chats to come through. So okay, right. I'm gonna go then, and I'll be live tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed. Same sort of time, 8:30, between 8:30 and 9. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Cheers.